And thanks again for joining me, guys. And today we are going to be talking about reference books, pattern making and sewing books. We all have our favorites when it comes to sewing books, and it's good to have a good reference book that we can keep by our sewing machine while we're sewing, because sometimes you just have to refer to things, you forget how to do things, or you just need to know how to do things. I'm going to be talking about just a few of my go-to sewing and pattern making books that will give you thorough information on sewing and learning sewing techniques, as well as pattern making and pattern alteration, because we know that we all, for the most part, we are going to have to alter our patterns. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Katrina Kellum, also known as Katrina K, and I teach curvy women how to sew for their curves. So here we go. So one of my favorite books that I just love is the Reader's Digest Complete Guide to Sewing. This book, this is like a sewing Bible almost. Okay, this covers sewing from A to Z. All right, it covers the parts of the sewing machine. It covers sewing tools, pattern sizing and selection, basic pattern alteration, specific sewing techniques like pleats, sewing pleats, darts or gathers, waistline finishes. I mean, I'm not even doing any justice, but they even have a section on sewing for the home. So this book I would recommend to every person who is a complete beginner, because this book will help you out. This book will really help you out. They have a section on the tension of your sewing machine. If anybody has had to battle with the tension to get your stitches like they're supposed to be, it's a very good section to have. I mean, this book is really, you will use this for years to come. Now, I had the original edition. This is not the latest edition that I have now. This is actually the second edition. This was the copyright, and this is 1995, but they have a 2010 edition also. And I am an affiliate for this book. And the next book is, I absolutely love, 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 love this book. Okay, this is the Vogue Butterick Step-by-Step Guide to Sewing Techniques. This also is an older edition. This book has specific sewing techniques from A to Z. It literally has techniques, sewing techniques from appliques to zippers. So if you want to practice sewing a certain technique before you actually make your entire garment, this book will show you how. This book covers everything. And when I used to do alterations, I would always have to go grab this book. This is an excellent book to have in your sewing library. All right, so this is by Vogue and Butterick. Another book that I love is the Fabric Sewing Guide by Claire Schaefer. This is the 1994 edition. There is a 2008 edition. And this book covers woven and knits, woven fabric and knits. And it goes over things like the fabric characteristics, planning a garment, layout and cutting and marking, stitching tips and seams, types of threads you should use, types of needles you should use. This is also a very good talking backwards, very good book. Now this next book, this really is my go-to. Pattern Making Made Easy by Connie, Madden, Crawford. This is a very good pattern making book. This edition is 2007, but she has also a 2013 edition. So this is a very, very good book. And what I love about Connie Crawford is that she creates patterns for plus size women. She understands the plus size woman's body. Now, she does have instructions on how to draft your own pattern. I believe she uses a dress form though. But if you have your dress form double, you can probably draft your own pattern using her instructions. I've done drafted my own pattern using this book for my skirt sloper. Haven't done the top yet, but I have done the skirt sloper. And it came out, I mean, of course, I still had to make some minor adjustments because everybody's body is unique. So nobody can predict what kind of fitting issues we're going to have. But this book gave me a very strong base, a very strong foundation. And then all I had to do was, do some minor alterations from there. So this is a good book to have. She even has a section in here on how to create your own dress form double. She uses paper mache. And I thought I haven't used this one to create my dress form double, but I just thought paper mache might be a little difficult to work with, or a little messy. So, but there are other DIY tutorials out there. In fact, if you go to my website and just type in the search bar, type in DIY dress form, I review some of them. And this book is the only pattern making book I've seen that talks about balancing your patterns. That's something that I didn't even learn in school. I learned on my job when I was working for Simplicity on how to balance your patterns, because it does affect your fit if your pattern is unbalanced. So this shows you how to do that for your skirt, for your pants, and for your tops. You want to draft your own patterns. This is an excellent book to have. This book is a book I actually forgot I had. Fitting and pattern alteration, a multi-method approach. And this is by 3 different authors. And they show you the slash method and the pivot method for pattern alteration. It sounds a lot like pattern making because we know there's a slash and a pivot method also for pattern making, but this is specifically for pattern alteration, and they use commercial patterns. And I just realized I had this book when one of the ladies in the sewing curve mentioned that she got hers at an estate sale. This is also, they have a new edition, of course, a 2016 edition. I want that edition. This is a 1992 edition. They're giving you different ways to alter your patterns, and they're showing, and they're using examples of different fitting problems. It's not specifically for a full figure woman, but it is a really good book. And this, I believe, also is a textbook, so it's kind of pricey. It's a little over $100. I didn't see anything less than $100 for this book. This last book, I also forgot I had. So Smart. This is by Clotilde. Do you guys remember Clotilde? She had a catalog with sewing tools and different things in it. And one year there was a sewing conference in Pennsylvania, and I live in Jersey. And sewing conferences are never close to me. They're always, a plane ride away. So when this sewing conference came to Pennsylvania, I said, I have to go because I don't know when that's going to ever happen again. And Clotilde was teaching one of the classes. And I used to get her catalogs, and I had so many things circled, and, I got to get this, I got to get that. I wanted every little sewing gadget I saw. But she taught a class at this sewing conference, and I bought the book, and she signed it. Let me just read to you what she said. She signed it. She said, "Enjoy sewing and life, Clotilde." Can you guys see that? That handwriting right there. This book, this covers wovens, knits, and ultra suede. The section on knits it's a small section. It doesn't go thoroughly into it. The section on ultra suede is a bigger section, but it covers mostly woven fabrics, and also it covers some basic sewing techniques. So she gives instruction on some sewing techniques as well. All right, now from what I understand, what I read, Clotilde passed away in 2011, but and so I think her catalog is no more. I think another company picked up some of her products in her catalog. But this book is on Amazon, but I think they had one in stock. And of course, they have a newer edition. So these are some of my favorite pattern making and sewing books. So if you would like a list of the books I talked about tonight, and you're already on my mailing list, you can go to my free sewing library and download the list of books. I have a picture of my edition, and then I have a picture of the new edition, so you know what you're looking for, and a little summary of what the book is about. And if you're not on my email list, you can click the link in the description and also download the resource guide of the books that I talked about tonight. And I have all the ones that I'm an affiliate for marked, full disclosure. And you can just click on the title of the book and it'll take you directly to the website. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video and would like to see more, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as part of the KKC community. Until next time, happy creating.